Welcome back to the Thursday night tag team. It's your boy, Mr. U. Big Mike's in the house. Spared Rock in the building. EC is under the weather, but we shout sending love and prayers out to him. Hope he feels better throughout the course of the week. Whatever you got, man, get rid of it. We need you back in here, man. So, how you guys doing today, man? How the week been?
Yeah, it's been good. I hate to hear that about EC again. Kind of what you said. Hopefully he feels better, but the show must go on.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
There's a lot of stuff flowing around, man. It's not pretty, man.
No.
The word stomach bug has a brand new meaning in these parts lately. It's not the old. It's not the one you grew up with. Put it like that. This is a different higher level bioengineered stomach bug. It's not cute. It's not cute. All right, so we got some people coming in the house to join us. We get to our first big topic. Then we're going all in with the AEW pay-per-view or PLE on August 25th, which is my 28th wedding anniversary. Shout out to the fam. I love it.
Yeah, 28 years. That's long. Nice.
Don't mess up my household, bro. It's not long. It's been awesome. All right. So Herbert, the first one in the house, he got competition. This competition is here because ladies always the first one in there, and Herb said, "Y'all the twos, but we the ones." Oh, good evening, Herb and Rogers podcast. Of course, you can find these awesome gentlemen, man. Love college football and NFL every Tuesday night on YouTube, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, we'll come back to that question. That's a good question. We'll answer that one. Yeah, I asked the question. You beat lady? Might be monumental. Lady said, I'm not having that. Lady in the house representing. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for doing that. Stay up with us and what's going on. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you so much. All right. So we got a couple of things. We're going to start the show off with Herb's question number one. It's going to be a toughie for us to kind of walk through. But let's start with the poll question that we had out there this week. Now, the question was, I've got the exact wording, but the bottom line was that, do you believe AEW is dealing with an overcrowding issue? Now, I got my reasons behind this, and but we'll get into it. I'm sure Sped got a point on that one. Maybe some of our listeners have a point as well. But Big Mike, you had some things you wanted to share about this. You felt like your answer was, I think your answer was a no. They're not overcrowded. Why do you think that?
So I think it's a hard no. I mean, they've got 5 hours of TV. That's really only one more hour than the WWE has. The WWE has a lot larger roster. The problem isn't the size of the roster; it's how you're booking the shows. As much as we loved that hour-long match between Ospreay and MJF, how many other people could you have put on in? You could have put on 5, 10 to 12-minute matches in that hour, where you could have focused on some other people. I get it; that was a great match, but they have a lot more of that. They just had Wednesday night? They had a 20-minute time limit draw with Claudio and Okada. I mean, they do. Of course, that's only the third or fourth draw that they've ever had. So it's not like they do it all the time, but it's a lot longer drawn out matches. And that's one of the things about WWE that we talk about is, they're going to have a bunch of 5 to 10-minute matches, but you're going to see a lot more people on each show. So it doesn't feel like their rosters are overinflated as it may seem. That's their real problem, not the size of the roster.
Okay. Spare, what do you think?
All right. So I had this typed out on my phone. All right. And that was pretty cool how it did show it. I had it typed out on my phone, basically. Basically, it goes down as, yes, I think they're overcrowded. All right. They got too many people for what they're not using them for. All right. This turned into what we had back in a few years ago with WWE, where they had all these guys and they're sitting and catering. Right, you got the tag team division that's doing absolutely nothing outside of FTR and the Young Bucks right now, right? But you also have Isaiah Cassidy and his tag team partner and private party sitting and catering, doing absolutely nada when both those guys are talented. Okay, I think it is overcrowded. They need to cut down on some stuff or break it down like WWE did. You got your rosters, okay? You got guys on Dynamite that are going to do well. You got guys on Rampage and Collision that are going to do well. Get these guys out there. Build these storylines up. make something that people are going to be like, oh man, 2 years ago we just saw Private Party take on Butcher and Blade, and it was a great match. Story was great. Oh, here we're going to run it back here next year for the tag titles, you know, and they got good video packages and stuff. But basically, they if they would go into a roster format, the overcrowdedness that everyone, including myself, thinks would go away. You know, you get time for these younger guys like Isaiah. You got, you know, hell, you don't even see enough of damn, who was the kid that was with Ricky Starks? Hobbs. I know he's injured, but you didn't see him before then, you know? So it's like you got all these big names, but no, not enough table to feed them. You get what I'm saying?
Without question. All right. I would love to have the numbers for each of the roster sizes. I don't think I have it, but it feels as though, just from the things I've seen passing through and looking at this, the AEW has more people on their roster. I could be wrong, but I feel like they have more people on their roster. And one of the reasons why I think that's going to be it's a bad thing. I voted for the fact that yes, they have overcrowding issue. On top of that, the talent actually believes that. They've actually openly griped about the fact that they're getting less time exposure on TV, and they've been complaining. Going to Dave Meltzer probably isn't a good idea, but they've done that, where they've complained about it, so it's definitely a thing. It's causing animosity backstage. As a matter of fact, if you look at per capita, the amount of offline stories in WWE versus AEW, guess who has the most? The people who have the most overcrowding. They're in there like sardines on each other, fighting for time.
Yep.
And animosity is certain to a result. So I feel like that's what's happening right there. And NXT is being treated as a developmental brand. So I don't include them in the whole WWE roster. You can't really, it's not really fair. You can't do that. They're kind of being treated separately in every single way, except when they have a crossover or when they bring in talent up and down, like how they're doing with the Good Brothers and and Pete Dunne with Trick Williams and that kind of stuff. But on the AEW side, they're not really doing it. They say Rampage is developmental, but it really ain't. It's really not that. what it actually is more of a ROH AEW escalator, if you will, where they're kind of going back and forth from ROH, and that's what Rampage kind of has become. So it's not really developmental. So you can include them in the roster, and you can look at it. It's tremendous. They got so many folks that you don't even hear from. I mean, you mentioned a few already. If we sit here and take some time, if we had time, I can give you 12.
Oh yeah.
Heard from me. Tim Sabian is backstage talent right now, and the man was like, him and Penelope were rocking and rolling for months before that. Now he's like sitting around.
He ain't doing nada.
Interrupting backstage vignettes. I'm like, that's what it's come to. And that's just one example of so many of them. That's like, what's happening with them? I mean, some guys are injured. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Wardlow and Keith Lee right now, just as a couple of examples, but there's so many examples of guys just kind of sitting around. You don't hardly see that much. I mean, you see Brian Cage more than almost anybody. And it's like, and even that's not a lot. You see him on a Rampage show or on a Collision probably. He come out there with the Gates of Agony, and you see them, but for the most part, the list of people who are not getting any run, it's long. So
yeah,
I voted that they are dealing with overcrowd, and when the talents say it themselves, who am I to say otherwise when the talent's saying it is?
So this is where I guess my definition of being overcrowded is different from you two guys. Is everything you've just said to me isn't an overcrowding issue? It's a booking issue. Overcrowding means I've got too many people and there's no way I can fix it just because there's so many people on my roster. Everything both of you just said is fixable without having to get rid of people. So is it really an overcrowding problem, or is it the way the show's being booked that they're not able to highlight people? You've just said, letting people have more time. They've got the time, because even if you take NXT out, they actually have an hour longer in their television programming every week in 6 hours. No, I'm sorry, it's the same. It's 5 hours. So it's 2, 2, and 1 against 3 and 2. So both brands have 5 hours, but you feel like you see so many more people on Raw and SmackDown than you do on AEW television because of the way it's booked. To me, overcrowding means that there's nothing I can do. To me, overcrowding means there's nothing I can do other than let people go because there's no way I can change up what I'm doing.
That's what
to
WWE
fix
had
that problem
years ago. Yeah.
That's what overcrowding is to me. Everything else is a booking issue.
I think don't know about that, man. I mean, for example, on SmackDown, I feel like, and we mentioned this on previous shows, I'm seeing the same people over and over again. So that's where that argument falls flat for me. I'm seeing the same folk over and over again. I'm seeing, no offense, but I'm seeing Kevin Owens like a lot.
Yeah, but who else they got on SmackDown though?
I mean, I know that's what I'm saying. They rosters ain't as thick.
Yeah.
AEW.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Because there was, you wouldn't see these guys that often, all the time. I mean, the Bloodline, that's a running story, it's a main storyline. You're gonna see the Bloodline probably somewhere hovering around the main event. Yeah, I'm tired of some of that already, but it is what it is. But these other guys, like Kevin and maybe to a degree, Austin Theory and Waller, just to a degree, but they don't have a longer roster as AEW. They just don't. If you want to match talent again, who's the better roster? Different conversation. We can have that on a different show. It's going to take us longer to get through that. But
I would agree that AEW has a larger roster when you take off NXT. My original argument, I was using NXT as part of that. So yeah, I agree with you. If you take off NXT, AEW definitely has a larger roster.
If we can roll like this, and I can take time while we're here to pull them rosters up and do the math, I would do it myself. I guarantee you. Even if you pull NXT out, AEW is still going to run longer than all of them. And they both got, well, AEW got 6 hours if you include Rampage. 6 hours they working with. And if you are WWE, if not including Speed and NXT, they got like 5 hours. The AEW roster is still way longer than this.
Well, Rampage is only 1 hour, so it's 5 and 5. No. It's 2 and 1.
Rampage and Collision is starting to feel like WCW Thunder.
Collision was 3 hours. Collision is 2 hours. Gotcha. You're right. 5 hours. AEW is way longer, and you can see it. But we can try to find it if we have time. If one of us can get that, that's fine. Let's jump into Herb's question. This is a good one. Hopefully, we can't take too much time on this one because we want to get into AEW. Try to break it down before the top of the hour if we can. But his question was: if someone hasn't watched wrestling in over 10 years, what company, faction, wrestler, program, whatever, would you start them with? I feel like I have my answer. I saw the question a little bit in advance, so I got an answer for it, but love to hear you guys' thoughts.
The Shield.
Huh?
Start them off with the Shield. Get them with
it. They're not here, man.
You got the Shield versus the Wyatts, then the Shield versus Evolution, the Shield versus everybody at that time. The Shield was the stuff, you getting back into wrestling, start there and go back, go
you
from
want
there.
to go back and watch some tape. I'm talking about somebody who want to come in here right now and they ain't been watching in over a decade, and they want to jump in right now. Where you sending them? What are you showing them? Who you pointing out that you should watch?
Roman.
You're
pointing out Roman. He's the star power. He's the draw. Yeah, like if this was, let's say this
when he's wrestling.
When he's wrestling, yeah. Okay, let's say if this was the 90s.
Or when he's on TV.
Hypothetically, if this was the 90s.
No, act like it's real because somebody could be watching. I mean, I've heard some folks that are watching us and they ain't been watching for over 10 years. Lady Alpha hasn't watched in years.
Well, I'm just saying though, if we're in
what you tell Lady Alpha?
If we're in the 90s, you say Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan. Boom, boom.
No.
1, 2.
Current. Why you going back in the time machine?
Hold on. You say that 2000s Austin Rock. Nowadays, well, mid 2000 Cena, Randy, boom, boom, or Cena Edge right there. I couldn't figure out which one on that one. But today it's Roman. No matter what you look at it, you go, hey, you haven't watched this in a while? Watch this Samoan real quick. And everyone's like, hey, what's up? This is this guy. Holy bleep. And he's on it,
Roman's a bomb, but he's not there every week.
You don't have to watch all this. You got all this packages that you're telling me. If I'm trying to get someone in right now, I'm pushing.
Yeah, to watch weekly programming, to watch wrestling again.
Yeah, Roman's the guy. He's going to get you back in. Watch. Doesn't matter that he's not there all the time. Lesnar got a lot of people back in. He wasn't there all the time, and when he came back, bada bing, bada boom, people were like, I love his reactions.
All right, Big Mike, what you got? Big Mike,
what you got? Today, current, I mean, I would say just watch an episode of Raw. I mean, Raw has got probably the most kind of wide range storylines. You know, it's got good wrestling. It's got a lot of different storylines. You know, you've got the whole Judgment Day, Rhea Liv. You've got the whole Wyatt Six and now American Made kind of going on. So you've got different types of stories. You've got the Bronson Reed story where you have the big monster kind of coming in destroying, and now you've got Braun even just last week kind of coming in and is the monster. You kind of have that Godzilla Kong kind of feel to it. It's one of the bigger movies this year. So they can relate to those kind of things. And if you watch an entire episode of Raw, it comes back to different things that you can relate in everyday life as far as stories are concerned. So I think that's probably the best gap to bridge if you haven't watched it in a long time.
Braun versus Reed soon. That's gonna be nice.
Ooh. I don't know. I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. I've been rolling with this with a couple of short breaks for like 50 years. So I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. Where would I send them? Because I grew up watching the territories. It's like, and there's not a whole lot of stuff that's close to that. Where would I send them? What would I focus on? I can't focus them on the wrestler because if the wrestler's not wrestling, then they got to be relied upon to look at other people. So the wrestler part, I had to pull that one out of it. For the factions go, you can try to follow the bloodline, but there's no backstory because it already happened. So you got to have them go back and do research. So I want to give them homework. They're already stressed out enough trying to get back into wrestling after 10 years and trying to follow stuff and catch up and try to be up to speed on what's going on. Raw isn't bad because they kind of do like episodic television where they kind of give you some recaps and they give you little flashbacks. It doesn't go back far enough to help somebody who's been out for 10 years, but it's helpful. I'm stretched out between AEW and NXT.
What about TNA?
I was thinking about TNA, but I haven't watched a lot in a while, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So I don't want to do that without.
TNA is hard enough to find as a wrestling fan, much less a non-wrestling fan.
Yeah, you're right. That's why. Yeah, I thought about that too.
I can't even watch it, so it's like the hypocrisy is thick. I'm telling you to watch it. I can't even watch TNA.
I feel that.
But I think I would lean toward NXT.
Yeah,
I think it's probably the most wholesome of the bunch. It is still 2 hours, but I think it's an easy 2 hours to swallow for somebody who's been out for a while. They can see, I guess, the authentic storyline. As long as they ain't doing stuff that we've been talking about, I've been complaining about. As long as that's not happening, it'll be good for somebody coming in for the first time. They kind of get to see visits from people on the main roster and kind of just see how wrestling holistically should be done. They don't always do it great. I mean, I think Shawn Michaels doing a great job, but it doesn't always look like it could. But you get to see a lot of high-flying action. You get to see some mat wrestling. The women are getting strong storylines. We got a nice mixture of stuff going on there. Tag team spots and stuff. Might be a good place for somebody who's like, intimidated by the whole big wrestling atmosphere. This might be a good way to get them in before you start leading them into the big waters of all that's going on with the main roster. But hopefully that kind of helped answer the question. Lady says it's been over 30 years, so you can't tell her to watch somebody who's only on like once a month. Ain't gonna get the job done for her. She need more than that. She said Raw's where I started up again. So okay. Sound like she's been enjoying the ride. So all right. So you boys ready?
Yeah.
To go all in?
Sir. Let's go.
All right. So no? Oh,
I said let's go.
Let's go. All right. So AEW's All In PLE is coming up on August 25th. I think it's at 7.
Yeah, I think it's got a 2-hour buy-in before that. So I think the main card I think starts at 7.
Or is buy-in matches in here? Because man, the letter is.
Yeah, it looks like there's 10. Yeah, there's 10 total. The Casino Battle Royal or Casino Gauntlet is supposed to be part of the buy-in, and then the Statlander Willow mixed tag match down at the bottom right is the other buy-in match.
Okay, I'm asking that because I saw a couple of breakdowns and they don't have the gauntlet in the buy-in. They just have the Statlander Nightingale tag match in there. So,
yeah, usually they do that either right at the end of the buy-in or right at the beginning of the show. Kind of the way WWE used to bridge that with a match. That's how they did it last year. Now, if they may have changed it up this year with the format.
okay. Well, let's just touch the matches. Forget the whole buy-in part. We just start from the Willow Nightingale and work our way back down to the world title match. So this storyline's been kind of going on for a little bit. It's on to pick up speed now between Willow and Chris. I don't know where I am, but Stokely being in the match is going to be straight comedy. Because anytime that's happened, that's what we get. Because Ishii like he's a serious wrestler. I don't know what. I think Ishii had the ability to do comedy spots. I think he's going to have to in this match. But are you excited about this match whatsoever? Is there anything that is making this happen for you?
No, because it's just a preview of their next match. I mean, hell, even in the stipulation of the match, the winner of the tag team gets to pick the stipulation of the Statlander Willow match at All Out. So, I mean, it's really just kind of a preview match for that. I think they threw the tag teams in just so they don't give them another one-on-one match because as of right now, both competitors are 2-2 against each other. And so All Out will be the tiebreaker for, that one's even for the CMLL Women's Championship. I think Statlander wins because I just think it's a better position for the heel to win and be able to pick the stipulation to have the babyface overcome it All Out. So, but I mean, that's about it. Really, it's really just a preview match for future things.
Okay. What do you think, Sped?
Honestly, I'm not invested in this one at all, but I do agree with Big Mike said. I mean, they're setting it up for September 9th, isn't it? All Out.
Yeah, 2 weeks
September
from
7th.
whatever this day is.
So, yeah, okay, so they're setting it up for the All Out, and that
is it even 2 weeks? September 7th? Is that 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks because you've got All In this week, Bash at Berlin next week, and then All Out the week after.
Yeah,
in the next 3 weeks. There's a PLE or pay per view.
Yeah.
That
I'm just agreeing with what Big Mike said on this one.
I mean, I don't know about it being the 7th. I don't think it may not be that day, but it's definitely 2 weeks from Sunday.
I know it's like right after Bash at Berlin.
So it's the 8th.
I got September 7th in Chicago. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Whatever.
6th and the 7th.
Yeah, I saw that too. But I don't know what that meant. All right, so I'm not really super invested in that match either. The Casino Gauntlet match. I think did they add everybody? Had Orange Cassidy, Hangman, Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and did they add anybody else to this match? They have to.
No, there's going to be some surprises and stuff. I mean,
this is where Lashley comes out.
I think it's too soon for Lashley. I don't think his non-compete's up.
It is.
This could be where Ricochet, after the rumors today that he signed with AEW, it could be where Ricochet comes out. You could get a Dijak. Like you guys mentioned, Keith Lee has been injured. Some of the guys that have been injured for a while may be ready to come back. Could make an appearance.
Well, hold on. Omega.
Well, I don't know about Omega. I said Keith Lee. I don't know about Omega. I don't know that he's cleared. He's been working out though.
Yeah, I seen his work. That's what I was wondering if he was cleared. I was like, hold on here. That'd be time for him to come back.
I have no idea if he's cleared.
Not that I've heard.
Want him back in his match if he was cleared though?
No.
No, hell no. Not just one. No. I think
good and well that he can take it. I mean, first off, he's an executive in this situation. First off, good and well he's putting himself in this world title picture.
I was gonna say, yeah, he should go after Swerve.
That's what's gonna happen. That's not. There's no doubt in my mind. That's what happened when he does come back.
Oh yeah.
So how do we predict this match if we don't know who's gonna be in the match?
I was just leaving this match and the mixed tag match off the list. I figured those two are gonna be on the pre-show or the buy-in, and then the 8. It'll start off with Hook versus Jericho, and then the triple threat tag team match, and then move on from there. Yeah,
let's stay on the gauntlet so we don't get lost here. Let's stay on the gauntlet. So we're gonna there's like two folks left that's not in here, so I don't know how we predict the match, but I'm probably guessing that the person who is not in the match so far probably have the best chance of winning this match.
Must be Leo Rush again.
Oh gosh, really?
I think they did say Michael Oku's been added So I know that's one person that's been added.
Old school.
I mean, he's from England. He's going to be the hometown kind of guy. They just signed him. He's in the match. He just had the big match with MJF, so his name's a little hot right now. He is in the match. I mean, I think it's going to be hard not to have Hangman win, just because out of all the people that I've heard being there, either him or Orange Cassidy.
I was going to say Orange Cassidy, I think, might take this.
I did hear some rumors that they've talked behind the scenes about maybe Orange Cassidy moving into the main event picture. So this could be where they kind of push that in. But depending on who wins the championship match, I mean, if you have Swerve winning the championship, why not have Hangman there? That way you can have Hangman Swerve again because you know that match works.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say it would be either one of those two guys, either Orange or Hangman, just because I don't either that or one of the surprise entrants if they want to make a big splash.
You down with that Spirit too? Same feeling?
Yeah, if Ricochet shows up, I was going to pick him, but I think Orange Cassidy takes the gauntlet, in my opinion.
Copy that. All right. I'm going to stick with mine. All right. So, London Ladders match for the Trios Championship. The Patriarchy, led by Christian Cage, versus the House of Black versus the Bang Bang Gang versus TBD. Who is going to be... I thought they had this thing already settled. So this match is not even, this card's not even finished yet.
So they do and they don't. Supposedly it's going to be on Collision, but there have been spoilers for Collision. So I don't know if you want me to tell you who it's going to be because I can.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So the third team is actually a put together of the BCC and Pac. It's Wheeler Yuta. I think it's Castagnoli and Pac is the other 3-man team.
Okay, so that would make 4 teams. Pac and Wheeler Yuta.
I'm still going with the House of Black. If you don't let House of Black win this one, then I like the Bang Bang, the Gold Gang. You know, I like those guys. I like Austin and Colton Gunn. Have always been high on that tag team. Always been high on them. It's just trio wise. House of Black is where it's at, man. I heard the rumors that they're a-holes backstage and they're being mean to people and stuff like that. But when you got 3 huge guys like that, yeah, they're going to be a-holes when you guys aren't doing the right spots and stuff like that. You know, Buddy just came back. I get why he's being a douche. But Alistair and Brody, those 2 other guys, these 3 guys are going to win it. It's done. Those guys... Yeah, I'm picking House of Black. HB.
So, in your mind, this is a continuing program between them and the Patriarchy?
Yeah. This is going to keep going.
Well, if this is going to keep going, then the Patriarchy is going to probably win this then.
I know. I think I really do.
I don't see how they can avoid that. When Julia comes back, if this is going to be a continuing program, then you got a bit of an equalizer out there with Mama Cage or whatever.
Yeah,
Mama Wayne. Right. Excuse me, Mama Wayne. So if that's going to be the case, and you kind of feel like it's going to be a continuing program, I'm going to go with the champ to retain here with some underhanded business.
All right.
What do you think, Big Mike? You got a take on this one, or you want to move on?
Well, this one counts.
Yeah, this one counts.
The first keeping track, I hope. I am. The first 2 days count.
Yeah, he's writing it down.
This is not.
He's keeping receipts.
Okay, no.
Oh, yeah.
First off, we need to get something straight. We just named 2 or 3 matches that's not even filled yet. Hold on now. So we got to do this offline. We can't do this on this show because there ain't no way. We don't know who's in the matches.
Well, we just said that the first 2 didn't count. We're starting with this match. This is the first one that we're counting.
Yeah, they're on the pre-show.
Because you don't. Yeah, that's what we just talked about at the beginning of the show.
When did we start doing that rule? When did it happen? I missed a meeting.
Because we don't know who's in the gauntlet. How are you going to predict the gauntlet when you don't know the gauntlet?
We find it out and we predict it before Sunday. We just do it offline.
Yeah, we
can't do it on the show.
I can do that.
I can do that.
This is 10 matches. I want my 10 for 10.
He wasn't.
I need time. I need time to get that thing straight. Y'all can't cut me out of this. What you mean?
I'll be keeping this right here.
Come on, man.
Anyway, so this match, I, as much as I think the Patriarchy and the House of Black will continue their feud, I really think this is where the Bang Bang Gang takes back their championships. They're the ones that had the titles before the patriarchy. Then the whole thing with Jay White, they had to drop them. You bring in, I can't remember the other guys. It used to be CJ Perry in NXT. I can't remember his name here. But
you talking about?
I really just think this is where they come in and they take their titles back. And when you have Jay White come back, it causes
Juice?
A little tension.
Yeah,
Juice Robinson. That's right. It causes a little tension between Juice and Jay White, and it could lead to a match with them later on because obviously that was his spot, and then Juice took over. So I think this is in order to continue that story because the House of Black and the Patriarchy can go off and fight each other without the trios title because there's other stuff involved in that. The Bang Bang Gang takes the title to create another story with Jay White when he comes back.
Okay. All right. Hey, cool fun fact: Tony Storm and Juice are married. Some folks didn't know that. It's funny.
Did not know that.
Yeah. All right. So the last chance match for the FTW Championship: Jericho versus Hook. I feel as though I'm gonna just go on the record. I think Hook gets his title back.
That's what I was thinking.
It kind of feel like it belongs with him. At the same time, it's like, how long can you stay there in that realm with the FTW? It's like, okay, it's a championship, but it's more sentimental, has more sentimental value because your dad had it.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
So if you want to elevate Hook, you got to start getting him in matches for actual AEW championships. So
like the TNT title.
This can go sideways. This can go sideways on me when I'm saying this. Once we do our actual predictions on Saturday or right after Collision or how are we going to do it? Let me know that part, and then I'll make a solid thing. But right now, I'm gonna say Hook gets the FCW championship back. That's what I'm gonna say on this.
I'm saying solid pick, Hook. I don't think Jericho keeps that FTW championship. It's Hook's dad's, and I think that title needs to get out of AEW. What has that title ever done? It's done nada. I mean, Hobbs has had it, done nada with it. Ricky Starks had it, did nada with it. Hook had it, looked good. It looked good. It was like, okay, Hook finally got a title. Oh, it looks good on him. I was like, all right, that's when you should have retired that title. It went back to the Taz family. Should have got out of there with the Taz family. I think it shouldn't be Darby Allin in this situation in the TNT title match. It should be.
Hey man, where you going? You left us?
Oh, no. You said get him into another title spot. That's where he should be at. Is in that, not this one, but the TNT. He should be in the TNT picture, not the FTW picture. You're right about that. Get him away from the FTW. Move him on to the TNT picture. And let's get this going for this kid because he's really good. I like Hook.
Yeah.
So you're saying he should be out of the FTW picture, but he should win the FTW title?
Win it, retire it, get it out of AEW, put it back on your daddy's shelf.
Okay.
I'm good.
I don't know that they'll do that, but I agree. I hope Hook wins. But man, there's just something in the back of my mind
that says Jericho.
that says that Jericho's going to cheat, like Jericho does. He's got his band Fozzy playing him out. He lost last year at Wembley. This may be one of those matches where I overthink myself, which I have a tendency to do when we're picking these. But I'm going to go with Jericho winning it somehow underhanded. They could always kind of come back and do it at All Out, and then he could win it. Hook can win it back at All Out and do all that. But I just don't see how they go against Jericho as much as they love Jericho. As a company there, not necessarily the fans.
No, I get
it. I don't see him losing 2 years in a row at the biggest show of the year.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying there. It's that title needs to get out.
As much as it pains me to say those words that Jericho's going to win.
Yeah. All right, let's keep the train moving. All right, so coffin match for the TNT Championship. Jack Perry is the champion, the scapegoat, versus Darby Allin. I'm struggling with even caring. But that's just a personal feeling. I'm like, I don't like all that's been going on with Jack Perry. I think he benefited from being with the Elite. I think it's going to help him, but right now, Mr. U's bored. So I'm going to just say that Perry retains and kind of keep the train moving. But what are you guys predicting for this particular match here?
I think Perry retains. I'm not really interested in it either. I mean, Darby Allin already won the gauntlet match a few weeks ago. He's got an AEW title shot at some point. I mean, I don't, and they've got a tendency to do that, put a belt on somebody, then let them straight go work for another title immediately after, kind of the same way Ospreay did after he won the international title. But I just don't see any way that Jack Perry doesn't win that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jack Perry's got this.
And I guess what I'm curious about, if nothing else, is how they get Darby Allin in the coffin so Perry can set it on fire, and that's what it feels like. We just definitely gonna go down this route. I'm like, how you can get him out of the coffin before he burns up alive on national television? So
Yeah,
trying to figure out how to go make this thing work. But I just feel like this coffin's getting lit on fire at some point during this match. But with Allin
makes
in
sense.
it, so it's
with all the fire spots they've had in the other matches they've been in. Yeah, I can see that.
Like, and in that last main event Anarchy match, it's just kind of bound to happen. All right, so let's go to the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks are the champions. The EVPs going against FTR and the Acclaim.
If I'm hearing the rumors to be true, then the Acclaim take this one. They're trying to shift to a different view of their tag team division and get away from always everyone thinking, oh, it's either going to be FTR or the Young Bucks, you know? So I think they're about to throw it to Max and to the Acclaim again. I mean, don't get it. They've done all right before as tag team champions. They weren't terrible. Okay. They weren't terrible, but it's time for a new look on this division. Give it to the Acclaim.
The idea this is giving me some form of agita, because I'm like, all right, I'm hearing talk about he's the best wrestler, Max is the best wrestler in the world. I'm like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, exactly.
For them to take this title, it will almost validate, because of the teams that they be beating.
Yeah,
it almost validate like they're one of the best tag teams in the world. I'm like, yeah, I can pick 10 tag teams I think are better than you guys are.
Yeah,
maybe you can, maybe you guys can too. So I'm like, I'd hate for the title to be on this. I'd be like, ooh, I'm not really feeling that. And on top of that, I feel like FTR and the Bucks, they got some more matches in them between them.
Yeah,
some more things to kind of settle. But them having the Acclaim having the titles, I think it's a horrible idea. But because I'm not quite sure where they're going to be going with this and what's going to be next, I'm going to take FTR to take the titles here. That will put them back in the driver's seat against the Bucks again. And I think it's kind of the matches that we probably want to see, at least I want to see, out of these three teams. But I don't have a strong grip on that one. It's just a gut feeling about it. But what do you guys think on this one?
And the Acclaim. I think it's the Acclaim.
Okay. Mike?
I'm going to be honest. I don't have a clue. I'll go with the Acclaim just because I want to see a different tag team. I haven't heard the same rumors that you have. I'm tired of the Young Bucks. I'm really tired of FTR at this point. I'm going to go with the Acclaim just because it's some fresh blood, something a little different than they've had in a little bit. So I'll go with the Acclaim just because I want to see something different. Because that's just really it. I kind of feel this way about this match as you said about the one a little while ago. I'm not really invested in it.
Yeah,
I feel that.
So this is these aren't our final predictions, but mine's gonna be done while I'm on the getaway for my anniversary. So I'm still gonna get them to you. You gotta just text me and let me know the updates or who got in or whatever, and I'll send you my predictions. I'm gonna stick with it and hold on tight. Hope I can get 10 out of 10, but at least 8 out of 10, at least. All right. So next matchup is going to be the AEW TBS Championship. Mercedes Moné along with the Brick House versus Britt Baker. I'm not going to overthink this. Moné's retaining. I'm not going to waste too much time on this one. I don't think Britt Baker's taking the title today.
Doesn't have it. Britt Baker doesn't have it. It's all
Thank
CEO.
You. Thank you, sir. Big Mike.
is the resident Britt Baker fan in the room. I don't think this is her time to take that back. You've just got Camille in there with it with Mercedes. I think Mercedes takes it maybe with some shenanigans from Camille. But yeah, I think Mercedes retains.
Yeah, Britt needs to make some more friends. It'll help out down the line.
No, it's not gonna help out nothing. But okay.
I mean, I could see them bringing Jamie Hayter back in, just to get that English pop. Her hometown. They've been friends on air in the past.
You don't like Jamie Hayter versus Camille?
I'd love to see that.
That would be nice, actually.
That's the kind of friend I'm talking about. Somebody can stand up against Camille.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They could bring her in and have kind of an equalizer. I don't know that they do that, but I don't know. I don't see Mercedes losing right now. She's too much of one of the hotter tickets on the women's division there. I just don't see them changing that.
This is what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong, but this is what I think is going to happen. I think that they are thinking about having Jamie Hayter kind of jump inside there, but it's only a matter of time before she turns on Britt.
I was gonna say, yeah, she's gonna.
And see, I thought about that too. I thought maybe like she brings Jamie Hayter to be an equalizer, and when she gets in the ring, instead she turns on Baker there and becomes part of the moneymaker crew, whatever she's calling that. And then now Mercedes has two. Hold on, calm down, calm down. I'm talking about one night. Take a breath. Take a breath. Let me finish.
I love it.
On Sunday, you have her come in. You have this group. Every faction breaks up at some point. It builds tension between Camille and Jamie Hayter. They can have their match to see who stays in the group later on. But it makes a lot of sense storyline-wise for Jamie Hayter to turn on Britt Baker there. And then it makes Mercedes Moné even stronger because now she's got two bodyguards. Her corporation, her Money Inc. or whatever is even bigger. And then later on down the line, you build to a match between Hayter and Camille when they're starting to distrust each other. They're starting to kind of go at each other, maybe for, whoever who's vying for Mercedes' attention more, who wants to stay in the group, things like that. You can build to that, but to bring Jamie Hayter back and put her in a prominent position and to have something for Britt Baker to fight for later on again, because I don't think this feud is going anywhere. That's how you would continue it if you want to bring Jamie Hayter back in.
Okay. All right. So what we got left? We got three matches left. All right. So the AEW American or International, whatever you prefer, International Championship. Champion MJF versus Will Ospreay, arguably the greatest wrestler in the world, according to what they've been saying. So how do you like this match to go down? The storyline build-up is going pretty well. I love the family being brought into this. Always gives it a nice emotional edge. What do you guys think about this one? I'm kind of not sure about the last three matches. But
I mean, I'm sure who I think is going to win. I mean, I don't think there's any way that they don't let Ospreay win this match in his hometown. They've set the storyline up perfectly, especially with Daniel Bryan coming into the doctor's area last week, during Dynamite and saying, pull the trigger, do it. That's the whole reason he hasn't been hitting the Tiger Drivers, because of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan comes in and says, pull the trigger, do it, get it done. I think he hits him with a Tiger Driver, pins him 1, 2, 3. I don't know how they topped the match they had a few weeks ago that all three of us thought was really match of the year.
Yeah, that one.
So I don't know how you top that, but being in his hometown, I think Will Ospreay takes it in a really good match. Again, I don't think it'll be as good as the one they had, but he hits the Tiger Driver, takes it. Maybe even if he throws the American Championship in a trash bin, kind of like MJF did, puts it down, pulls the international title back out of the bag. Huge pop from the crowd, and that's how it ends.
I was going to say, I have this up because this is the last time we're going to see this title for a while. Okay, you do not put Will Ospreay in his home and have him lose a championship match in his home. You got 50,000 plus people that are going to blow that damn roof off the stadium. Okay, it possibly cause a small earthquake like the Seattle fans did when Marshawn Lynch went beast mode on New Orleans a few years back. You know what I'm talking about. So this is the last time we're going to see that. Will Ospreay takes it, big pop, and yeah, I was going to say he's going to hit the Tiger Driver, but this is it. I like this title concept. I liked it, but the international title comes back come Wednesday. That's the last time you see that baby.
Woo. I sure hope so. I want that to happen. But watching wrestling all this time, you develop trust issues,
Yes, you do.
and you start wondering who's going to run in and screw this thing up, what's going to
Yep.
happen. But I hold any additional thoughts beyond that for our final predictions. But I'm gonna go with Ospreay now because I want that to happen. I want to see the Tiger Driver again, especially on MJF. But
That'd
I'm
be
like,
nice.
does he hit the 1, 2, 3 without something happening in between? I'm just so nervous about it. I'm like, I don't know. Wow. I can see that.
I think he hits it multiple times.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 times. Yeah.
Okay. All right. AEW Women's World Championship. This is another one. I'm tough. I'm tough on this one as well because I'm struggling with this one as well because I've been watching Mariah May's matches. I mean, she's squashing everybody, and I'm like, is this really how you want to book this? I'm struggling with the idea that you're gonna have this. I mean, unless she can't wrestle, don't get me wrong. I'm sure she did the work where she came from, but it's like you out here just squashing people. And I'm like, you want me to buy that this is how this is going to go down? I'm like, I just kind of feel like I'd rather have her, show some intestinal fortitude in her matches that tells me, you know what, you're getting ready for Toni Storm.
Yeah.
When you out here squashing folks, that don't give me that feeling like, you know what, you can come out here and do her like that with the drop kick right out of the gate, like she ain't gonna be ready for it, and you can just squash her and take this title lickety split. I just don't feel all of that. So I'm like, I don't like how they're booking her. Just by that part alone, I'm going with Storm to retain. I can't even fathom the idea of May winning this match. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. So
I'm on the same boat. I don't see them putting her in the UK where, she's part of the UK. She was born in part of the UK. I don't see her losing the AEW's Women's World Championship. She is the best thing they got going right now. Not the best, I'm sorry. One of the best things they got going right now on that women's roster. One of the best, I'm saying.
Why not the best?
I mean,
better.
I can't say who's better right now. I got to go back and keep watching. But
I
what I'm saying, Storm is up there. I'm telling you right now, she is up there. But I don't see her losing it because the match she just put on, was it Wednesday? I think she was on Wednesday last night. The match that she put on, yes, it was gimmicky at some point.
It was hard to watch.
It was very hard to watch. But at the same time, you're like, you just let her win against Saraya, who Tony Khan looks at one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time. I don't think she's losing. I don't think she's losing come Sunday. I was gonna say Saturday, but thank God it's on the screen right there.
So this is probably the one match that I'm most up in the air about on the entire card. Because it's kind of a head versus heart.
Yep.
My heart tells me I want Toni Storm to win because I agree with Mr. U. I think she's been the best thing on AEW TV, men or women. Definitely the best woman, but she's been up there as far as men and women all together. The story that those two women have told over the past few months has been one of the best stories they've told, and one of the longer stories they've told
in a while.
And I will go back and say this. I've wanted to say this for a whole day now since that match was yesterday. I don't think. Yes, that match was hard to watch, and yes, they were trying to be gimmicky. But that match was hard to watch because of Paige or Saraya.
Yep.
If you watch the match, she was very late to getting to a lot of the spots, even before they started doing the World of Sport stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually saw a video on X today that Becky and Bayley actually did almost the exact same sequence a few years ago.
Yep.
And it looked 10 times smoother because both women got to their spots.
Well, you see,
Paige was late, or Saraya was late getting to her spots the majority of that match. She drugged that match down.
She did. Yep. You see Toni Storm at certain points, like, you're supposed to be right here. Yeah.
So I don't think as bad as that match was on Wednesday, I don't think that has anything to do with Toni Storm.
Nope.
And I hate to see that from Saraya because she was one of my favorite wrestlers on the female side at one point. And I get it. She's only wrestled like 24 matches in the past 2 years, which is a half of what she, not even half of what she wrestled in her heyday. And maybe that's it. Maybe she just hadn't had the reps to get to speed to do all that. I get that. You've got to have that timing down. And I'm not saying she still couldn't be a great wrestler, but the match she put on there was probably the worst Saraya/Paige match I've ever seen from her. But back to the match that we're talking about. Just sorry I had to go on that little rant because I've been wanting to say that for 24 hours now. I'm going to say Toni keeps it. Just because I'm going to stick with my heart, not my head. My head tells me Mariah May just because of the way they've kind of built her up, the way they've had her come in. But my heart's going to stick with Toni Storm because I think she's doing the best work of her career. She's had, she's been the face of the best storyline in the company for months. So I think Toni Storm wins it.
Best female to come out of the UK since Queen Elizabeth.
And not for nothing, I thought Toni Storm was Australian. But
she's from New Zealand, I thought.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's still part of the UK.
Technically.
All right. So the last title match here, and then we get into our matchmakers to close the show out, is the one. It's for the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland, the champ, facing Bryan Danielson in a title versus career match. I'll let y'all go ahead and go first because this is going to be the worst one for me of them all. I'm almost glad I can't watch it on pay-per-view now. I'm like, oh boy. But go ahead.
I don't know, man. This one's tough for me because I don't know if this is really it for I want to call him DB, but I don't know if this is it for Danielson. Something tells me Swerve's gonna win. This is it. Yeah, he wants to go be a dad. He wants to go do the next chapter of his life. He's probably hurting neck. You can see him every match with not even like one throw in. He's like, dang, my neck hurts really bad right now, But if this is it for DB, that was one heck of a career. I'm glad I got to witness it. ROH on out. I'm glad I got to witness. But I am going to go with Swerve. Something's telling me that this is it for him. And, what you said earlier, Mr. U, about, all right, it may have been Big Mike, about Hangman potentially winning a gauntlet match. That would set up a nice Swerve Hangman. What is it, 3 or 4? I can't remember.
Like that, yeah.
Something like that. Either way, the first 2 that I know of that I remember were freaking great matches. So I do go with Swerve. Swerve's been hot, and I think he ends DB. And especially if WWE's name dropping Daniel Bryan on Monday nights. That's what also made me think, oh, this is it. Yeah.
So I'm not sure about it. I'm not. I think Swerve takes it. I think Bryan. I don't think this is his official retirement match. I think he goes away for a little while. I think he comes back to have another match later on, as most wrestlers do. But I do think he wants to take some time off, heal up. That's one of the reasons that they've had the storyline where he wasn't supposed to wrestle. I know he did wrestle Jeff Jarrett because he's been dealing with some legitimate issues.
Yeah.
So I think maybe he takes some time off, maybe 6 months to a year. Maybe makes a triumphant return and challenges whoever he wants to face in his final match, which is his right. Kind of the same thing we've talked about John Cena with him coming back for next year. I could see them coming back in maybe not a whole year, but maybe Daniel Bryan coming back and having 2 or 3 matches with some dream opponents for him and for us. But yeah, I think Swerve wins it. Not to mention, we've already mentioned you've got Darby Allin who's already got a shot in the future for the world title. With the way Darby Allin wrestles, I don't want to see a Darby Allin Daniel Bryan match, not because I don't think it would be good, but I don't think it would be safe for Daniel Bryan to do some of the wild and crazy stuff that you see in a lot of Darby Allin matches. We've talked about Orange Cassidy or Hangman Page winning the gauntlet. Those two fit better with all the future contenders that you could have that we've mentioned fit better to have those type of matches with Swerve than you do with Bryan, just because of Bryan's help. I think Bryan could still do it. I think Bryan would still do it if put in that position, just because the man is obsessed with wrestling, like he's been his entire life and his entire career. But for health reasons, I hope he has gone the other way. I hope he takes some time off. Like I said, come back, have 1 or 2 matches, do your retirement the right way, and let Swerve win this. Like him continue to be the face of the company. I would rather see him stay on this heel run, not switch back to a baby face like he was 2 weeks ago or a month ago. If you take out Daniel Bryan and you're the guy that retires Daniel Bryan, you need to stay this heel.
Yep.
You need to be the big bad. You don't need to go back in 2 weeks and start saying Swerve's house and doing the dancing and all. No, you need to stay the Swerve that took out Daniel Bryan. I'm the man that ended the American Dragon. Keep that same energy.
Yep.
But I think Swerve takes it.
I think we just made Mr. U cry on the inside. That's his boy that we're talking about. Yeah.
What do you do when your favorite wrestler is not wrestling anymore?
Ilya has been off camera for a while, but he's not.
Yeah, but he's not my number one wrestler. He's not my number one active wrestler.
No, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. Yeah.
This is it. This is it right here.
So is Brian number 2 all time for you? I know you said Angle's number 1. Is Brian 2?
We go back to and we go back to the beginning. Yeah, I got him as my number 2. Absolutely. I like him that much. So this is I don't even know where you go with this. Man.
The question.
I probably should wait until Saturday to do this because I don't even know the answer to this question.
Let me ask you this though. I know he's right now active right now. He's your favorite out there, but with all the injuries and everything, wouldn't you want to see this man go home for a little bit, just recoup, come back like what Big Mike said, maybe in 6 months to a year, and then run it back when he's healthy, because these last the last year of his matches, man, you seen him in some hellacious matches, matches that are putting him on the mat. Oh my God, it has my neck hurting thinking about it. Okay. Yeah.
See, this is how I got messed up in the last prediction show that we did. This is how this all started. Because I was forced to choose between what I want to see happen and what's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what I want to see happen. The words that he said out of his mouth, I believe he believed them at the end of Dynamite, and I believed every word that he said. Best wrestler in the world, I believe it.
Yeah, for the last 20 years.
I believe every ounce of it.
Oh, no, you're not lying.
Me personally, this is not my prediction because I don't even know what to predict. I want him to win the championship and drop it.
At All In? Or All Out, sorry. Drop it out, All Out.
It don't even matter.
Okay.
It don't matter where it happens at. It can happen to All In, it can happen to All Out. It don't even matter. Drop it.
You're saying just lay it down, not defend it again.
Lay it down.
Lay it down and walk out of the ring?
That's right. So I did it. I kept the promise to my kids. I'm gonna keep my other promise to my kids, and I'm going home and leave it.
I know he says he's got his kids out there for the first time watching this match, especially his son. His son would be live for the first time.
Yeah, I would. That's what I would want to see. I think that's one of the best way to protect his body too. Yeah, having to go to extra. Go ahead and win it. Go put it on the line and drop it.
I get that. But this match is gonna be
so more fun to have a tournament for the new championship. It's gonna be even more fun. But that's me. I don't know the answer. I guess right now I just sit here and say I can give it a Swerve, but
real quick, if he does win it, do we get the Eco AEW World Heavyweight Championship belt?
No,
he left that. Behind.
I know that title though. I liked it. I ain't gonna lie.
That's the whole rundown. We're gonna do our full prediction because there's still some match stuff that's probably gonna get settled on Saturday night. So we got to try to figure out. I think there's 1 or 2 matches that we still are missing a participant or 2. I think Big Mike named 1, but I think we're still missing another one.
The Gauntlet's the only one that we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I'm coming back Sunday morning, texting you guys, figuring it out, and then I'm going to take a picture of what I wrote down, send it to you, post it up on.
Well, I sent you a graphic that's got all 10. It's a different one than this one, but you in our, I want to say it was in our Twitter chat.
Yeah.
There's a card, and I'll update that last match with the last team, and that way we can. And I actually put it on Twitter today. I posted it before the show, so you can use that. Circle it, whatever you need to do, and we can all put it out on X Sunday morning before the show.
Yep.
And that'll be your official prediction Sunday before noon.
Okay. I can make that work. Are we doing the match? It got to happen now, or it ain't gonna happen.
Just throw it up.
Let's go.
Throw it up.
All right. So you guys that have been watching us, we've been doing a matchmaker series where we put some wrestlers, sometimes like mine, like skill set, put them in one match together and decide who's going to win. I'll go ahead and start off and try to keep it brief since we're kind of going over the time a little bit. But you got Braun Breaker here, Bobby Lashley, and you got Obafemi. Now, everybody knows that me and Mike love us some Obafemi. This is a monster right here, without question. The fact that Tony D'Angelo put him down last Tuesday was interesting, but this is a monster right here. But in this case, I'm going with the capitalists. I'm going with Braun Breaker in this one. Lashley and Femi. I can set it up. Lashley and Femi, these two big horses going after each other. Lashley turns around. That's your that spear. And that's a wrap. 1, 2, 3. Braun Breaker. Only because you're going to capitalize, and he's really good at doing that.
Yep.
Where these guys are sitting there trying to trade punches and body blows and stuff. I think that Braun Breaker's going to capitalize on that. So, real quick answer to a short question. Braun Breaker's mine. How about you guys? What do you got?
Go ahead, Sped.
All right, I'm going to take Oba in this one. I was going to go Braun, but as soon as you said Braun, I was like, now I got to go Oba. I'm going to take Oba because this dude's a genetic freak, all right? He is what we thought Brock Lesnar was all them years ago, and I think he takes both these guys not easily, but he takes them. Oba for the win. 1, 2, 3, and he takes it over Braun Breaker, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Big Mike, come on.
So I'm going to go Oba, not just because you went Braun Breaker, because that's I'm not going to say I'm going to pick it just because you picked Braun. That's
totally why it happened, right?
That's but I mean, as you said, everybody knows I'm a huge Obafemi fan. I've said it a few times on X. To me, Braun Breaker and Obafemi are two of the reasons that WWE won't miss Bobby Lashley now that he's left. I'm not the hugest Bobby Lashley fan. I think he's good in the ring. But to me, this match starts off. They get Bobby out of the ring. Braun Breaker, and I'm going to send him off kind of like they did Ricochet. Braun Breaker spears him through the barricade. Obafemi picks him up, power bombs him through the table. Beginning of the match, then it turns into a one-on-one match between Braun Breaker and Obafemi. Obafemi beats Braun Breaker after a good solid match.
Alrighty.
Kind of a passing of the torch to that big, strong monster.
That's a big dude.
But I mean, that's just how it happens in my mind.
All right, well, that's what makes these fun, man. We kind of just imagining and just fantasy booking, man. It's all good. All right, I think most of our listeners already went to bed already. I think they left us already. But it's all good though, man. But this was fun, man. We're excited about All In. I don't know which one of you guys, if any one of us will actually be watching it live. I know it won't be me.
I know. I'm gonna use that Stream East website. It worked on my.
No,
Xbox
you're not. You think it's going to be on
allegedly?
It worked on my. Allegedly worked on my Xbox. I forgot we're under oath all the time. Allegedly worked on my Xbox last time. All right. Allegedly.
But always remember, the internet is forever.
It is allegedly. Okay. What happens in Vegas stays on YouTube.
I would just keep my thoughts to myself because I know that we're. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for supporting us, ladies. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for being so strong, supporting us. We thank you. Really appreciate it.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of that street. I'm gonna stay off of that one, but hopefully somebody can watch AEW All In so we can kind of get into it a good bit. I wish they would change how they do it so that we can all watch it, but right now that's not the situation right now.
Last year there was a few guys on Twitch that did it and they didn't get in trouble at all. So if you just look on Twitch, go on Twitch. There's guys sometimes watching Raw.
I don't have no Twitch account, man.
It's easy to set up. It's free.
Let me go start a Twitch account just so I can see potentially AEW. Maybe see AEW. Maybe
hell, it's free.
I love some better breadcrumbs than the one you just gave me. Go set up a Twitch account and then hope you might see it passing by. What kind of directions is that?
Hey, at least Twitch isn't illegal. Maybe that's the best argument for it.
That's probably it. Yeah, Twitch isn't illegal.
Is there a certain account I need to follow on Twitch? I mean, help me.
I can hold on. Let me find out real quick.
Not right now.
Send it in the text.
Nobody want to hear that. This is off air stuff, man.
Definitely. Oh my god.
But thank y'all so much for joining us. Always fun talking wrestling with you guys. Keep it coming. Share it with your friends. Please like, share, and subscribe. The tag team is out.